how to stay calm when your boss is on your case. Imagine the scene: tight deadlines, endless meetings, and relentless pressure for results. The stress at work is palpable, and often the feeling of being on the verge of a meltdown is inevitable. But what if there were a way to face these emotional storms with the serenity of a wise Stoic? These ancient principles are not just for philosophers. They can be directly applied to your everyday corporate life. Consider how you could transform each challenge into an opportunity for growth. And what about professional relationships? Have you reflected on how they affect your productivity and well-being? In the midst of this chaos, it's possible to find a center of control. The key to this may lie in your own reactions. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to accept what we cannot. But how can we do this in practice? Get ready to discover techniques that will change the way you handle pressure. Together, let's explore how to be more resilient, maintain focus, and ultimately find peace in the corporate environment. Basic principles of Stoicism. Stoicism, a philosophy that dates back to ancient Greece, is a fascinating approach to dealing with the ups and downs of life. At its core is the idea that reason is a powerful tool that allows us to face adversities with a clearer and more balanced perspective. For Stoics, reason is not only a guide, but a way to live in harmony with the world. As we understand the fundamentals of Stoicism, we begin to realize that life is full of events beyond our control, but how we react to those events is something we can shape. One of the central principles of Stoicism is self-control. This practice involves the ability to master emotions and impulsive reactions, allowing decisions to be made with clarity and rationality. In a world where haste and pressure are constant, self-control becomes a valuable asset. By developing this skill, we can avoid hasty decisions that often lead to regret and stress. Stoicism teaches us to pause, reflect, and instead of reacting, to respond with awareness. Moreover, Stoic philosophy invites us to question our beliefs and examine the reasons behind our emotions. When something bothers us, instead of simply succumbing to frustration, we should ask, why does this affect me so much? This critical analysis helps us dismantle irrational beliefs and cultivate a more balanced attitude toward challenges. Thus, Stoicism is not just about enduring difficulties, but also about understanding and transforming our perspective on them. The importance of reason and self-control extends to all areas of life, especially in the workplace. When faced with tight deadlines or conflicts with colleagues, the ability to maintain calm and mental clarity can be the difference between success and failure. Stoics believe that by practicing reason and self-control, we can not only handle challenging situations better, but also inspire those around us to do the same. By integrating the basic principles of Stoicism into our daily routines, we are not only improving our individual well-being, but also fostering a more harmonious environment around us. When each of us takes responsibility for our reactions and emotions, the result is a more collaborative and productive workplace where everyone can thrive. This is the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that empowers us to live with intention and purpose, even in the most difficult circumstances. Identifying and accepting stress. The first step in dealing with stress is to recognize it. In the workplace, sources of stress can vary. Tight deadlines, excessive demands, interpersonal conflicts, and constant pressure for results. Identifying these sources is crucial because we can only manage something we can name and understand. Often, stress accumulates silently, and when we finally notice it, it has already begun to affect our mental and physical health. Therefore, having this awareness is a vital first step. Once the sources of stress are identified, the next step is to accept that there are factors beyond our control. This acceptance does not mean resignation. It means acknowledging that some situations cannot be changed. For example, we cannot control the attitude of a difficult colleague or the demands of a project that do not align with our capabilities. By accepting this, we relieve a significant part of the pressure we feel, allowing us to focus on actions we can actually take. Acceptance also helps us develop a more compassionate approach toward ourselves. Often, we are our own harshest critics, demanding perfection in situations that are inherently challenging and unpredictable. Stoicism teaches us that imperfection is part of the human experience. By accepting our limitations and those of others, we create space for self-compassion and consequently resilience. Additionally, by recognizing and accepting stress, we can start implementing strategies to manage it more effectively. This may include practices like meditation, physical exercise, or simply taking time to reflect and recharge. These strategies do not eliminate stress, but they provide us with tools to handle it in a healthier and more productive way. Identifying and accepting stress are fundamental steps in building a Stoic mindset. By understanding that stress is an inevitable part of life, but that our response to it is a choice, we begin to walk a more conscious and balanced path. This approach not only improves our individual well-being, but also contributes to a more harmonious and productive work environment. Focus on what can be controlled. Life is filled with situations that are beyond our control, and one of the most valuable lessons Stoicism teaches us is the distinction between what we can and cannot control. This understanding is crucial, especially in a work environment where we often encounter challenges that seem overwhelming. Focusing on what we can control. By concentrating solely on what we can control, our own actions, reactions, and attitudes, we can redirect our energy toward actions that truly make a difference. For instance, if a project isn't going as planned due to external factors, such as changes in client expectations or team issues, spending time and energy worrying about these factors only increases our stress. Instead, we can focus on how we can adapt to the new situation, seek creative solutions, and enhance our collaboration with colleagues. This shift in focus helps us maintain a productive and proactive mindset, which is essential for success in any endeavor. A practical technique to apply this principle is the control list. In this list, you can divide your concerns into two columns, one for things you can control, and another for those you cannot. This not only helps visualize situations but also prioritizes your actions. When you clearly see what you can and cannot change, it becomes easier to let go of worries that merely drain your energy and focus on actions that can yield positive results. Moreover, this practice of focusing on what can be controlled also helps cultivate a growth mindset. Every challenge we face becomes an opportunity for learning. For example, if a presentation wasn't well received, instead of feeling discouraged, we can analyze what could have been done differently and how we can apply this learning in the future. This approach not only strengthens us, but also contributes to a more collaborative work environment where everyone feels encouraged to learn from their mistakes. Focusing on what can be controlled is a fundamental skill promoted by Stoicism. This practice not only helps us manage stress more effectively, but also empowers us to respond to challenges with a positive and productive attitude. By cultivating this mindset, we not only improve our own performance, but also inspire those around us to do the same, creating a culture of resilience and growth. Stoic mindfulness practices. When we talk about mindfulness from a Stoic perspective, we refer to a state of awareness that allows for a connection with the present moment. This practice involves meditation exercises and daily reflection, which may seem simple but have a profound impact on how we perceive and react to daily challenges. The idea is to slow down the mind and observe thoughts and feelings without judgment, something Stoicism has always encouraged through reason and introspection. One of the most effective exercises is morning meditation, where you seek a quiet space to sit and breathe deeply. During these moments, you can focus on your breathing, allowing thoughts to drift by without clinging to them. This helps prepare the mind for the situations that will arise throughout the day, promoting a sense of calm and control. Regular practice leads to the development of a more resilient and centered mindset, facilitating stress and emotional management. Mindfulness can also be incorporated into everyday activities, such as eating or walking. For instance, when eating, you can pay attention to each bite, the flavors and textures, rather than getting distracted by your phone or television. This practice not only enriches the experience but also teaches you to appreciate the present moment, which is one of the pillars of Stoicism. The idea is that by focusing on now, you reduce anxiety about the future or ruminating on the past. Additionally, daily reflection can be very beneficial. At the end of the day, taking time to think about the experiences lived and your reactions to them allows you to identify behavioral patterns and areas for improvement. This introspection is crucial for cultivating a more conscious and self-controlled self. Stoicism teaches us that by understanding our actions and their consequences, we can become the protagonists of our own lives. The practice of Stoic mindfulness is not limited to meditation. It involves a shift in perspective. It's about learning to live more consciously and deliberately, focusing on the actions we can control and accepting those we cannot. By integrating these principles into our daily lives, we become better equipped to handle life's ups and downs, maintaining serenity even amidst storms. Reevaluation of expectations. One of the more challenging aspects of the workplace is the pressure we often feel regarding expectations, both those we place on ourselves and those imposed by colleagues and superiors. Reevaluating these expectations is a crucial step toward reducing the anxiety and pressure that often surround us. Stoicism teaches us to reflect on what is truly reasonable to expect from ourselves and others, promoting a more balanced and realistic view. Adjusting expectations in relation to work means, first and foremost, recognizing that we do not always have control over circumstances. For example, a project may not go as planned due to external factors, such as a lack of resources or changes in client demands. By accepting that these factors are beyond our control, we can adjust our expectations, focusing on what we can do to improve the situation rather than being disheartened by frustration. Additionally, it's important to remember that each person has their own pace and work style. Constantly comparing ourselves to colleagues can be a dangerous trap. Reevaluating expectations should include recognizing each individual's skills and limitations. By adopting a more empathetic stance, both toward ourselves and others, we can create a more collaborative and less competitive work environment where everyone feels valued. Another point to consider is communication. Often, pressure arises from a lack of clarity about what is expected. Open and honest communication about expectations can help avoid misunderstandings and frustrations. By discussing goals and challenges openly, it's possible to align expectations and find joint solutions, alleviating the pressure that may be felt individually. The reevaluation of expectations. The reevaluation of expectations is not a one-time process. Rather, it is a continuous practice. As circumstances change, our expectations must also adapt. Stoicism teaches us to be flexible and to accept the impermanence of things. By cultivating this mindset, we can become more resilient and less susceptible to anxiety, allowing us to focus on what truly matters: our growth and learning. Managing professional relationships. In the workplace, relationships are one of the most influential factors in our daily experience. Effectively managing these relationships is essential, especially when dealing with difficult colleagues and demanding bosses. Empathy and assertive communication are key tools in this process, helping to build a more harmonious and productive environment. First and foremost, it's vital to understand that everyone has their own struggles and challenges. This means that often, a colleague's difficult behavior may stem from external pressures we are unaware of. Practicing empathy helps us look beyond superficial behavior and consider the motivations behind it. This approach not only facilitates the building of a more positive relationship, but also allows us to respond more constructively to challenging situations. Assertive communication is another fundamental skill. Often, misunderstandings and conflicts arise from a lack of clarity regarding expectations and needs. By clearly and respectfully expressing what we think and feel, we can avoid unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings. This involves not only stating what we want, but also actively listening to what others have to say. This open and honest exchange is the foundation of a healthy relationship. Moreover, it's important to create a safe space for difficult conversations. If a colleague is being problematic, addressing the situation calmly and objectively can be much more effective than reacting emotionally. Creating an environment where everyone feels comfortable expressing their concerns allows issues to be resolved before they escalate into bigger problems. The practice of assertive communication then becomes a valuable resource for maintaining peace in the workplace. Cultivating positive relationships also involves recognizing and celebrating the achievements of others. A simple compliment or acknowledgement can have a profound impact on a colleague's morale. Stoicism teaches us that by focusing on collective well-being, we also care for our own well-being. By managing professional relationships with empathy and clear communication, we create a more collaborative and satisfying work environment for everyone. Resilience and adaptability. Resilience and adaptability are fundamental traits for any professional looking to thrive in an ever-changing work environment. Life is filled with challenges and surprises, and the ability to adapt to these circumstances can determine the success or failure of a project. Stoicism offers a powerful perspective on how to cultivate these qualities, emphasizing the importance of accepting changes and learning from them. Cultivating resilience begins with the acceptance that failure is part of the process. Instead of viewing a setback as an end, It is more productive to see it as a learning opportunity. This Stoic mindset teaches us to reevaluate adverse situations and seek what we can learn from them, transforming pain into growth. This approach enables us to face future challenges with a more positive and proactive perspective. Adaptability, in turn, is directly linked to mental flexibility. In a world where circumstances change rapidly, being able to adjust our expectations and strategies is crucial. Stoicism invites us to practice detachment from our fixed ideas and to open our minds to new possibilities. This doesn't mean abandoning our goals, but rather being willing to adjust them as needed, without losing sight of what truly matters. Additionally, it's important to remember that resilience is not an innate skill, but something that can be developed over time. Practicing adaptation in small everyday situations can better prepare us for larger challenges. This may include learning to handle tight deadlines or working in teams with people of different styles. Each of these experiences contributes to building a repertoire of responses to adversity. Cultivating resilience and adaptability also involves taking care of our mental and emotional health. Practices such as mindfulness, physical exercise, and leisure time are essential to maintain energy and focus. Stoicism teaches us that by taking care of ourselves, we become more capable of facing the challenges life presents. This combination of acceptance, learning, and self-care forms the foundation for a more balanced and fulfilling professional life. Setting healthy boundaries. Establishing healthy boundaries in the workplace is a practice often overlooked but essential for well-being. Many people, in their quest to please or impress, become overwhelmed, accepting tasks and responsibilities they cannot manage. This not only compromises the quality of work, but also affects mental health. Setting boundaries is an act of self-care and self-respect, helping to preserve energy and motivation. One of the most important aspects of setting boundaries is clear communication. When you feel comfortable expressing your needs and limitations, others around you learn to respect your space. Saying no can be challenging, especially in a competitive environment, but it is crucial for maintaining mental health and productivity. Assertiveness plays a vital role here, as it involves the ability to communicate your limits firmly yet respectfully. Moreover, it's important to understand that setting boundaries does not mean being inflexible. In fact, it is a way of ensuring that you can be flexible and productive when necessary. Healthy boundaries allow you to maintain a balance between personal and professional life, avoiding burnout. The practice of reviewing and adjusting these boundaries as situations change is essential, as the dynamics of work can shift rapidly. Advocating for boundaries can also have a positive impact on organizational culture. When employees feel comfortable setting their limits, it fosters a more collaborative and respectful work environment. People become more willing to support each other and recognize when someone needs help. Consequently, the collective mental health of the team improves, resulting in a more productive and harmonious workplace. Establishing healthy boundaries is an investment in your professional future. When you take care of yourself and respect your own time and energy, you become better equipped to face challenges and contribute meaningfully. This practice not only enhances your quality of life, but also increases your effectiveness at work, as you can dedicate time and effort to what truly matters. The practice of gratitude and positivity. The practice of gratitude is a powerful tool that can transform the way we view work and life in general. In an environment where pressures and challenges are constant, taking a moment to reflect on what we have to be thankful for can completely change our perspective. Gratitude not only lifts our mood but also helps us maintain a positive attitude, which is essential for facing daily adversities. Cultivating gratitude at work can start with small daily practices. For instance, reserving a moment at the end of each day to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for can be a revealing exercise. It could be something as simple as a colleague who helped you with a task or an achievement that seemed distant. These moments of reflection help create a more positive mindset and reduce stress. Moreover, gratitude can be expressed in interactions with colleagues. A simple thank you can have a profound impact. Recognizing others' efforts not only improves the work environment, but also fosters healthier and more collaborative relationships. When people feel appreciated, they are more likely to offer support and collaborate, creating a culture of positivity and empathy. Another important aspect is the practice of replacing negative thoughts with thoughts of gratitude. When you find yourself in a difficult situation, instead of focusing on what is going wrong, try to concentrate on what you still have that is positive. This shift in focus not only alleviates pressure, but also allows you to find creative solutions to the challenges you face. A positive mindset becomes a driving force for productivity and innovation. The practice of gratitude and positivity is a continuous journey. It is important to revisit these feelings regularly and incorporate them into your routine. This practice not only improves individual well-being, but also contributes to a healthier and more collaborative work environment. Over time, cultivating gratitude becomes second nature, helping to transform the way we live and work. Reflection and continuous learning. Reflection is an essential practice for personal and professional growth. In the fast-paced world we live in, it is easy to go through experiences without truly processing them or learning from them. Reflection allows us to review our actions, understand what worked and what didn't, and thus better prepare for the future. This practice is an important part of Stoicism, which emphasizes the significance of self-reflection. A key aspect of reflection is honesty with oneself. It takes courage to face our failures and successes head-on. When examining our experiences, we should question what we could have done differently and how we can improve. This critical analysis is vital for developing skills and competencies, as well as fostering a deeper understanding of ourselves and our motivations. Continuous learning is a natural extension of reflection. When we commit to learning from our experiences, we are investing in our future. This not only makes us more competent in our roles, but also prepares us for new challenges. Whether through courses, reading, or conversations with colleagues, every learning opportunity is a chance to grow and evolve. Moreover, the act of reflecting and learning continuously can also positively influence our team or organization. When we share our reflections with others, we create an environment where everyone feels encouraged to learn and develop. This promotes a growth culture where mistakes are seen as opportunities for learning rather than failures. Reflection and continuous learning are practices that can help us turn challenges into opportunities. By reviewing our experiences and learning from them, we are not only preparing for the future, but also becoming more resilient and adaptable individuals. This mindset is essential for thriving in a constantly changing world, where the learning process should never stop. And so, we reach the end of our Stoic journey in the corporate environment. Remember, the pressure can be intense, but the tools we discussed today serve as a shield against stress. By focusing on what you can control and cultivating healthy relationships, you can transform challenges into opportunities for growth. Now, a reflection. How can you apply these Stoic principles in your routine? Have you considered how your reactions to daily pressures can change the way you experience work? And remember, calmness is not the absence of stress, but the ability to navigate through it wisely. Before we wrap up, how about practicing a simple exercise? Take a moment to identify a stressful situation at work. Ask yourself, what can I really control here? This small shift in perspective can have a significant impact. If you enjoyed this content and want more tips on applying Stoicism to your professional life, don't forget to like and share your experiences in the comments. After all, together we can transform pressure into power and build more balanced and meaningful careers. Until next time.